My name is Cherie Cruz. I'm also an appointed member of the Senate Commission to study Justice Reinvestment Proposal and provide recommendations for reducing the incarceration of women here who are incarcerated in Rhode Island. And I just want to extend, we would really like to meet, seeing that this is going on, and discuss with you in the House Finance Committee some of the work being done with the commission to start to help around the women being held at the prison, reducing the population at the prison, as well as supports and programs for the women in the community that could save the state millions. So we really just want to extend that as a member of that committee, extend that and see that there's this work going on in other places within the State House that can really help with the state budget. I did want to point out in listening to Director Coyne's, testimony, currently there's 62 nonviolent and 10% of drug offenses of women incarcerated. So the majority of women who are at that facility are there for nonviolent offenses, are not a public safety risk, or for some type of drug offense. And less than 2% are serving these long-term sentences. And when I say long-term, that's over 2 years. So everyone else is serving majority less than a year there. And 66% are mothers. So I always want to point that out because that's additional cost to the state, right? When we talk about DCYF, separating families and the trauma to families in our communities, that's what's happening when we're incarcerating women here in our state, especially for a majority of these types of offenses. Also, I want to address that the director had talked about the programs. Now, mind you, many of these programs, you have to be sentenced for more than 2 years just to get into. So just put that in perspective. There are very few, if any, women who will be able to participate in any of those programs. And if they do, it'll take them many years to complete, if at all. So just keeping that in perspective when you're looking at that budget. So clearly there's a lot of women, that do not need to be there, a lot of ideas we could discuss about potentially closing the women's facility. Again, there's about 86 women there sentenced, very small number, but again, majority should not be there. Many that have, when they do come out, are facing homelessness, struggling to get housing, behavioral health supports. None of these things they got while inside, but were further traumatized and need it even more so now. So I'm just here to speak about really thinking about that, thinking about reinvestment of taking it from that DOC into the community, really partnering with the commission and looking at ways to do that to save our state money. I mean, one of them was mentioned with the group before. Some of the things looked at, the women's facility now where they're held was originally a maximum security building. So as we work on ways to decarcerate women who should not be there in the first place, we can think of creative solutions like closing down the high cost of high security and all the torturous things you're hearing that have happened there, and start to move into another facility while we're closing another one, and then put that reinvestment back into the community. So again, I just want to thank you for this time, open that invitation, and hope we can work towards really saving our state millions of dollars and really supporting our families and communities. So thank you.
No, thank you, Cherie.